Yo, so it's KOTA the Friend, and y'all tuned into All Hip Hop.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your man Chuck Creekmer, aka Jigsaw, here at One World Studios, and I'm here with a guy that I'm a big fan of, KOTA the Friend. What's up, brother? Good to meet you.
Man, what's up, Chuck? It's good to
Yeah,
meet you.
respect. So, first of all, I have a weird question. Do you have a name for your fans? Like, are they the friends? Are they the KOTAs? Like, do you have a name for them?
Man, somebody asked me that question a couple days ago, actually, and I didn't really know. We were actually joking about like, what do we, people were saying, yo, the friends. I'm like, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
just never had the opportunity to be like, yo, what's up, the friends? I don't
Yeah,
know. I
right.
never. It's something. It's
It could
not
just be
something that.
it could be just friends. What's
Yeah.
up, friends? How y'all doing?
It's just. It never really crossed my mind, but
Yeah.
maybe I gotta look into it.
Yeah, I
You
think I
know.
think it makes sense. I think
Yeah.
it makes sense. First of all, when I first saw you, on Spotify, and I'm not exactly sure who, might have been Static Selector, but regardless,
hmm
I was like, Coda the Friend. That's an interesting name. It's an odd name. The Friend, like in hip hop, really? So tell me what made you pick that name and the origins
hmm
of the name.
Right. I just realized a lot of my music was kind of like, it was about me. It was autobiographical, but I was always trying to tell a story to teach a lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Also, I'm learning lessons through my own music. It's like I'm writing as I'm learning.
yeah.
Like I when I read books, I put it in the music a lot.
Uh-huh.
Stuff that I'm reading, stuff that
Yeah.
I'm watching, learning, and so I think of the name Code of the Friend is just like, man, I'm a friend to the people that are listening to my music.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got the name from a movie, Brother Bear. It was a
Uh-huh.
Disney movie, and one of the bears was named Coda.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
thought that was so dope.
Right.
And so the meaning of Coda is the friend, his
Right.
friend. You
Okay.
know,
Got you.
so it just made sense.
That's dope. It's like a welcoming name. Like, yeah, man, come on over. Like, let's be cool.
Yeah,
Whereas some would be like, no disrespect to Killer Mike. You just the
yeah.
person of the hour. Killer Mike. You might be like, hey, oh, I don't know, man. Maybe not approachable.
Or, I mean, well, teachers on. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
is
Of
what it
course.
is.
Now, you're originally from Brooklyn, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What part of Brooklyn?
Fort Greene.
Fort Greene.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about you and your being raised in Brooklyn, like you specifically. How was being born and raised in Brooklyn for you?
It was a few different things. When I was born, we lived in Prospect Heights,
Mm-hmm.
and then we moved to Canarsie,
Mm-hmm.
and like I really remember being in Canarsie. So that's like the suburbs kind
Mm-hmm.
of Brooklyn.
Got you.
So that's a whole different experience than when we moved downtown. You
Got
know, so when we moved downtown, it was like that's the first time I really experienced living in the city.
Got
Where it's like I'm downtown. It's like Brooklyn, Clinton Hill, Fort Greene,
you. Mm-hmm.
Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights. It's
Yeah.
like it's busy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's busy.
Right.
When I'm
Yeah.
in Canarsie, we're kind of like tucked away. It's
Mm-hmm.
like stuff is happening, but not really.
Uh-huh.
And I remember it was like a culture shock to me, even though we were still in Brooklyn. It was like, man, everybody's outside. The
Right.
block is hot all the time.
Yeah.
Like going to the grocery store is a mission. It's
Right.
it's a
Yeah.
lot. Remember, it's the '90s. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and so just I remember it just being crazy until it not became crazy anymore. Until
Yeah.
it became life, and
Mm-hmm.
I became I think when because I was downtown, I was kind of introduced to more things.
Mm-hmm.
More type different cultures and
Right.
different types of people and that music too.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of like changed the way I saw everything, and I owe a lot to my upbringing in Brooklyn. You
Yeah.
know, yeah,
What was your family setup? Not to get all deep in your biz, but
yeah.
two parents, mom, dad,
Yeah, I got both my parents,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. I figured that. Not
Yeah,
not not to be weird or anything, but I can get those vibes.
mm, that's interesting.
Yeah. How was it? How what kind of person was your dad?
My dad, a man of few words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Calm. Uh, sit back, have his biz, mind his business. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
He marches at the beat of his own drum.
Okay.
He does his own thing. That's been his whole thing ever since I could remember. Sometimes a very stubborn individual.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but cool overall.
How about your mom?
My mom is loud. She's the opposite of my dad. She has a naturally loud voice. My son
Okay.
knows. He knows. Um, when she's in the room, you know she's in the room. She
Right.
wears the brightest colors.
Okay.
She's a dance teacher.
Right.
She's been dancing all her life, ever since she was probably like 5 or 6 years old or something like that.
Got you.
Um, she's an artist at heart. You know,
Okay.
she's not emotional and emotional at the same time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
She's a
Mhm.
very interesting individual as well, and she takes teaching very serious. She stays all the time. Even to this day, she's been teaching probably for like 30 years.
Mm.
She'll stay after school until 6, 7, 8 p.m.
Wow.
dealing with kids.
Yeah.
You know,
That's dope.
she's the type of teacher where kids always come back to her 10, 20 years later,
Mhm.
like, oh, Miss Jones,
Yeah.
I miss you so much,
That's crazy.
like, yeah, she's like that.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you and hip hop. So I'm not. I want to get too crazy at first, but I want to talk about how you got into what prompted you to start writing rhymes and become like really enamored with hip hop.
Man, just we were watching BET.
Mhm.
I talk about it all the time with my cousins and my friends. It's just when we were growing up, the countdown was everything.
Yeah.
We would
Yeah.
watch the music video countdown. That's how you found out about the new music that was out.
Right.
And then you heard it on the radio. You probably
Mhm.
see it on the countdown before you hear it on the radio.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to emulate them. You know, we
Mhm.
wanted to be like Ja Rule, 50, Jay
Mhm.
Z. It's like, yo, I'm Hove. You gonna be, you know,
Right. Right. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
You gonna be Dame Dash, and we gonna start
Mhm.
Rockefeller and da da da.
Oh, that's
You
dope.
know, so that was really the beginning of us just trying to write music and write
Mhm.
lyrics. I think as soon as I was writing lyrics. I
Yeah.
probably I wasn't spelling these words right,
Yeah.
but that kind of taught me how to write because I
Mhm.
was learning words as well. So I was like, how do you spell this word?
Yeah.
Spell that, and so it's like that's the beginning of it. It's just, man, we wanted to be like them, and
Yeah.
so we wrote raps and we
Mhm.
found any beat that we could, and we
Mhm.
did what we could.
Do you remember your first rap?
I remember part of it. It was the to the In My Lifetime beat
Okay.
instrumental,
What was it?
and it's just like I would just like flip the words that Jay would say. So he would say, "It's the thought of the ride that make my eyes wide," and so I would be like, "It's the thought of the green that make my eyes gleam," you know.
Okay.
And so
Right.
that was when I really think about it. Like he really was creating a blueprint, no pun
Mhm.
intended,
Mhm. Yeah. Definitely.
and I was kind of just filling in the blanks with my own words,
Mhm.
and I was learning how to write lyrics,
Yeah.
not really even knowing it.
Okay. Now, so my personal relationship with you musically is that you talk a lot about mental health.
Hmm.
And that's something near and dear to my heart. And I gravitated to your music for that reason. And you say a lot of real stuff in your music, like very deep and almost emotional, like, but not like angry emotionally, because the tone vocally is kind of, you know, the same, so to speak. But
Hmm.
the content is very heavy sometimes. How did you get that part? Because Jay doesn't necessarily talk about that stuff as much.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Or most rappers actually like hardly nobody. Truth be told.
Yeah. Um.
And it's not under the context of I'm drunk or I'm
I
on something and I'm trying to get through life, but it's like very thoughtful.
I think I'm really thinking about these things all the
Hmm.
time,
Yeah.
and um, I I really had conversations with the homies about it, and I feel like music is the only place that I've felt comfortable expressing these emotions.
Hmm.
You know, if I'm having a conversation or arguing with my girl, this I'm like, I don't,
Right.
I can't give you that. It's too, I can't
Yeah.
tell you. It's hard to tell you how I'm really feeling. But
Right.
for
Yeah.
some reason, when it comes to the music, that was one place where I feel like I'm not gonna be judged. But
Hmm.
a lot of stuff that I say in the music, if I say it to a person, it's judgment involved.
Hmm.
And but for some reason, when you just put it in lyrics, you put
Hmm.
it over a beat, people are like, "Oh, I understand you."
Right.
I
Right.
really understand where you're
Right.
coming from.
Yeah.
But people are harsh in the real world.
That's true.
So I feel like it's always been easier to put it into music.
But in the context of hip hop, it's not that easy. I mean, it can be tough too. Like that's a
Yeah.
different pathway, especially being from Brooklyn. Like Brooklyn's like the hardest
Right,
borough.
right.
Well, the Bronx
Yeah.
and Brooklyn fight for that title, but
Yeah.
you know,
I think the Bronx may have it right now. I
yeah,
ain't gonna hold
maybe,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
I think
sorry to
so.
tell you, but
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah, the
It's,
Bronx
it's
got
facts. It's
yeah,
facts.
it
Bronx
hasn't
got it
changed.
right now, all right, but we got time,
Yeah.
We got time.
Have you ever, felt as an outsider in hip hop?
Man, I felt like an outsider my whole life in
Mm,
so many different ways. So being an outsider in hip hop was really nothing.
mm,
It's like, okay, it's just another day.
yeah.
But I don't take that personal. It's just I grew up with different influences. Like, yeah, hip hop was a big influence. It was my
Mhm.
first influence.
Mhm.
But then I got to high school and I got new influences and I started listening to different genres of music.
Mhm.
And so it's nothing for me to make the songs I make because I've been listening to, Billy Joel. I've been listening to the Beatles and
Yeah.
so many other artists and Jimi Hendrix. So the way I think musically is just different,
Right.
because I see music differently,
Mhm.
you know?
It's funny because yesterday I was with some artists at a show at the Blue Note, and I was telling them how proud I was of my daughter because she said, "Oh, this song reminds me of you," and the song was from our '90s rock group, the Cranberries,
Ah,
and I was like, "Y'all know about the Cranberries, right?" And they was like, "Nah," and I was like, "Oh well, okay. Well, they got this song called Zombie. I know you know
yeah.
Zombie," and I started singing it and all that, and they was like,
Mm-mm.
"Nah," and I was like, "Okay." Well, anyway, my daughter said the Cranberries remind me of you, and all right, I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But the point is where for myself, I grew up on with a very diverse palette. Partly thanks to like MTV, honestly, but not limited to. I was a college DJ too, so like I
Mm.
got a lot of stuff,
And you
alternative
went to
music.
college.
Yeah, I went to
Yeah.
college.
And you was a college DJ
I
on top of
was,
that.
yeah. I
Yeah.
used to steal the music and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
take it home. But yeah, so I think what's my point? My point is hip hop has always been a lot of different music forms and then crunched into what we make it. You know what I
Right.
mean? You've done that too. Um, your music's diverse too. Like it's not just the work you've done with Static, but you've done other things too.
Mm-hmm.
Protea,
Yep.
that album was very different. What made you go in that direction for that? It was very upbeat, happy. I call it happy music. I
Yeah.
don't know what you would call it.
I just wanted to have fun with it. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to create something that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this stuff I write is deep, yeah, but I was just like, man, I just want to have fun for this album. It
Yeah,
was that simple.
right.
Yeah.
Got you. And you have lyrics to go. It's the series. Is that inspired by Tribe Called
Yeah.
Quest? Okay, I
Yeah.
mean it's obvious,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So you have Volume 5.
Yes.
Let's talk about Volume 5.
We gonna talk about it. What's up?
I mean, is it anything different? I mean, it's definitely bar heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed some of the songs are pretty short. What's the artistry behind it this time?
Yeah, lyrics to go 5 is the heaviest of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's expressing a lot of growth that I realized that I didn't see in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I just had a moment of clarity where I realized that I had grown to a point that a lot of people around me had just not gotten to.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to express these lessons in a way that wasn't trying to put me on a pedestal, but
Mm-hmm.
really just help people to understand what is really happening and what's really going on
Yeah.
in this world, what's really going on in their minds and their hearts,
Uh-huh.
and try my best to explain to people in this crazy climate, in this crazy world where all these things are happening, that there's hope
Mm-hmm.
on an individual level.
Mm-hmm.
There's hope for you and the people around you,
Right.
and you can make a change.
Okay.
you
Are
know,
you saying there's no hope for like the whole world?
I don't know about all of them,
Right. Okay.
but there's, like I said, there's a hope. There's hope for you and the people around you
Yeah.
if you can be who you are destined to be.
Yeah. Okay. Being a father of two young people or baby and a young person.
Hmm.
How does that play into what you do musically? Like, I'll say this, I used to rap and I was like, I can't. There's some stuff I can't do. How do
Yeah.
you feel? Like, do you feel that you're like, nah, I don't want them to hear this one day or something like that? Or is it,
Nah, I don't feel that way.
okay,
Whatever I said, I said.
yeah,
Period. If you
okay,
want to come and talk to me about it later, then you're just gonna have to do that.
okay,
That's how I feel about my music. I don't take back anything I ever said in on the record.
okay,
That was for me. That's the reality of life. Is that
mm-hmm,
I said this.
yeah,
I may not have been the most evolved version of myself, but I said
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and let that be a lesson to you.
right,
You know that yeah, this is how I felt, and this is why I felt that way. But as I grew, I realized that thinking wasn't really the best thinking, and there are better ways.
mm-hmm. And your son is here. He's
Mm.
your biggest fan, as you said.
Yeah,
How does that feel? Like that's kind of dope.
it'll get you through your worst days
Yeah.
for sure. When your kids admire you
Mm-hmm.
and want to be around you
Mm-hmm.
and appreciate you,
Yeah.
still appreciate you when the world don't appreciate you. When everybody else is mad at you and can't stand you,
Yeah.
and your kids look up to you, that makes you feel good. That
Right.
gives you a foundation. It's like this is something that I can build on.
Yeah. And being a good father is another story. Like that's a whole different
Yeah.
story. You have your father, but hip hop for years and years, kind of bashed the father, the black father,
Hmm.
often, and there were all these songs about not having a dad. Um, do you address these in song two? Being a good father, being there. I mean, I know you do, but talk about
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, I talk about being a dad. I don't really talk much about being a good father.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one song where I really talked about being a good father was Father's Day. I
Mm-hmm.
made a song called Father's Day that was just about how tough fathers can have it,
Mm-hmm.
especially in homes where maybe it's separate. You know, the mom is over here, the dad
Mm-hmm.
is over here. How tough it can be when you're
Yeah.
trying to fight to be a father,
Yeah.
and at the same time being a father while you're doing all of that,
Right.
while you're dealing with society, and society, like you said, has kind of trashed black fathers
Mm-hmm.
for so long.
Yeah.
So when you hear about a father in hip hop, you automatically kind of think deadbeat.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
like, oh, where's your kids?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
where's your kids? But nowadays it's just not like that, and still a narrative, but the narrative is false.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a statistic that says black men are actually the most active fathers, even if they may not be with their mothers or something,
Hmm.
all of that, but they're literally the most active fathers. So I always bring that up.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Yeah. If I can ask, if you want to answer, you don't have to. Are
Hmm.
you with the mom or not
Nah,
together? No.
nah.
Okay. So that's been a challenge for you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It has been in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Cool. Got you. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been through that too.
it's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. So, do you have a tribe in hip hop? Like, do you have like no pun intended, like you seem like a loner. Do you
Yeah.
run with anybody? Like, are you
Man, I got homies.
Mhm.
I got homies in the music thing. One of my closest ones is Price.
Oh,
He's you know
Price.
Price.
I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
Price. Yeah.
That's the bro. That's like it's
Okay.
like family for me. And I am kind of a loner, and I probably like forget people that
Mhm.
that are really close to me that are in hip hop.
Yeah.
But I got homies.
Yeah. Nah, Price is cool. We gotta get Price in here. I've interviewed him. He tried to interview with me in a Tesla. He wasn't. It was driving itself. I was
It
like,
was
bro.
driving itself.
Yeah. I was like,
Yo,
bro,
honestly, but Price is a wild boy,
you gotta
and
pull in.
I could say that on camera because he know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, I
You know what I
know.
mean?
But he's a positive dude. I love what he's about.
Oh
So
no, he's great.
yeah,
Like A1,
definitely.
A1.
So let's talk about your work with Static Selector, which
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be my favorite part.
Yeah.
Body of work. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect any other body of
Nah,
work.
you don't. That's your favorite. I
Yeah.
think Static is the homie, and he has a sound,
Mm-hmm.
that I think is beautiful, and it is like the classic version of hip hop that
Mm-hmm.
comes so naturally to a rapper,
Yeah.
a real rapper's rapper.
Yeah.
Like when you get on a static selector beat, that shows if you nice or not. You know,
Yeah.
that's the way I feel. Cause whenever you get on a real boom bap hip hop beat, you feel like I gotta go crazy.
Yeah.
So people are listening because they know you need to go crazy on this beat, and if you don't, then that shows that your real rap skill level.
Right. That's a fact. Now you are, I don't know how old you are, but you're a younger dude talking lyricism, lyrics to go. Like, and I find that interesting too because we have so many people that come into one world and they be like, I don't write. I just vibe. And I just vibe and I say one thing and then I vibe and then I say another thing and then I vibe and then by the end it's done.
Yeah.
And I've heard these projects and I'm not gonna, slander them. That's their process. But at the same time, I don't get what I'm looking for. And maybe it's not for me, right? But what as a like let me ask you, do you write rhymes?
Man, that's all I do.
Okay.
Is write rhymes.
That's what's up.
I'm not a freestyler.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
You get me in front of a mic on freestyle, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be good? Probably not.
Got
but
you.
I could write my ass off.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Do you have notebooks?
I used to.
Yeah.
But then life got busy. I don't got
now
time
it's
to
on your
carry
phone?
around. It's on my phone, bro.
Okay.
It's on my phone.
See,
It's in the cloud.
See, I think you should write them anyway, because I'm gonna tell you why.
All right.
Because one day you're gonna be, you're already a legend to me, but you're gonna be like a legend, like a legend,
Yeah.
right? And when they say when this museum, like the hip hop museum, is done or something like that, they're gonna be like, yo, what you got? What you got? And then you're gonna be like, you know what? I got these notebooks.
Right.
And then they're going to say, yo, this pen, like with Big Pun, one of the other museums, they have the pun pen. What Big Pun used to write certain lyrics. And I was like, damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
So I'm just saying.
I feel you.
It's a thought.
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. If there's any artist that is like there's no artist that's less documented than me, man.
Yeah.
Like I've made most of my albums by myself.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not gonna find footage of me making an album.
Right.
Yeah, you're not gonna find like pages and pages of lyrics unless they're from way back in the day.
Yeah.
When like before you could really write on your phone.
Right.
But I used to think about that, but I'm just like, bro, look, I'm making the music. It is what it is. I made it. If you don't believe I made it, then you don't believe it. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, anybody, but it's something I thought about.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll document the next one, the next album. Maybe I'll write it out.
Let me ask you, did you ever hide your face? Like, were you trying to be a mystery at one point, or was that just because I never saw you before?
I think for like 5 minutes, I was trying to be like, I just want to make music and just hide behind the screen or whatever. But my manager at the time was like, you can't do that. You're not going to make it.
Right, right.
So
I've seen too many people try that. Her tried it. Ghostface tried
Her
it.
did good, though. Her did good with it for a while.
Yeah.
She was killing it.
Yeah, she was. Would you consider yourself an introvert?
Introvert? I don't know anymore, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes people call themselves introverts and extroverts because that's what people have called them over the years, So I'm whoever I want to be on whatever day.
Yeah.
Some days I'm an introvert, some days I'm an extrovert. It doesn't matter who I'm around, it matters how I feel, Yeah.
Got you. What would you say your goals are? Being like getting recognition or accolades or growing, is your goal to be like the biggest star? Is your goal to be, what's your goal? Like, what are you trying to do?
My goal is to just do the things I love, help as many people as I can on the way, take care of my family, create freedom for my friends and my friends' families, and figure out ways that we can all grow together, build the team, and succeed. And whatever, like for me, that's success. If everybody's winning, if everybody can wake up happy to see the day around me, just make connections, build community. That's it.
I was talking to my daughter, and not talking to my daughter. I walked the Grammy red carpet. Little humble flex there. And my daughter, my daughter, my daughter, some did something she never did before. She
Right.
posted me and the picture of me on the red carpet at the Grammys on her stories.
Yeah.
She claimed me publicly and said the goat, POV the goat. I might add. I had
Wow.
POV.
POV, you're the goat.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
yo, this is crazy. So my question to you is like, do you want to do that? Do you want to do you want to be a Grammy Award winner? Things of that nature.
I be thinking about that, man. Like
Yeah.
with the Grammys that just passed, I was like, yo, winning a Grammy. And I think I would be still doing that for my family. You know, it's like we used to sit around and watch the Grammys.
Yeah.
So it's a moment for me and my family for when I'm at the Grammys. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm at the Grammys or if I win a Grammy,
Yeah.
the first person or people that I would thank or shout out is my family.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of the family watching this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we used to watch this, and
Right.
now look at this. You know,
Yeah.
so it's really just one of those like it's more than just an award. It's a memory.
Yeah.
That it's a memory for us
Right.
to be like we used to watch this together, and now we made it, and we're here
Yeah.
on walking the red carpet. So this is for us. It's like because the award really doesn't mean much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It kind of means something though.
I don't think it means it doesn't. I don't think it means anything to me. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're a future Grammy winner because I think you're a great ambassador to the culture.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I really feel that way. And I do feel like we need to make sure that they're submitting your projects to the Grammys, to the Recording Academy so that people can consider it at least.
One day, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the Grammys. I feel like for a black kid in America, the Grammys is a big deal.
Yeah.
Period.
And I mean, you know, we in hip hop we had this discussion all the time. I'm a Recording Academy member, and people are like, "Oh, we don't care about that because they disrespected us 50 years ago or 30 years ago, and oh, they didn't let Killer Mike talk." And I mean, like, yeah, but you know, how are we gonna? I don't know. I'm personally about like infiltration and takeovers.
Yeah.
You know, because it
Yeah.
is the standard, and there's nothing that's going to change that. Not anytime soon, in my opinion.
I feel like anytime you take something that used to be important to you and you try to like tarnish its reputation in your eyes because of some cause or whatever, you kind of take away a part of your history and a part of your family history, bro. Because it's like, bro, as much as no award matters when it comes to music. That's how I feel. It's not just about Grammys. It's about music is about music.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when you win an award, you winning that award was decided by a handful of people.
Hey,
So
got you.
if you win the award, great, amazing. Like I said, it's a moment for you and your family.
Right.
It's important to y'all. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a beautiful moment. So yeah.
Say no more. What does your family feel about your music?
My family, from what I know, enjoys my music and loves my music. Even the younger cousins, and so that's always cool. It's like being bigged up by your younger cousins. It always feels a little better,
right?
Because your aunties, they're supposed to be like, oh, look at my little nephew, he's doing his thing. But when your younger cousins big you up, it's like, oh man, I must be really doing something.
Yeah.
So it feels good.
So I gotta ask you this. I need from you, do not flake on me.
What you about to say?
I need your top 5 dead or alive.
Top 5 that are alive. It changes based on the day.
Okay, well, who's your top 5 today?
And I'm gonna say at number 1, I'm gonna say Jay.
Okay.
That's rappers, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Jay. At number 2, I'm gonna say Drake.
Drake. Okay. Tell me why Drake.
Why Drake? I'm gonna be real with you. Drake is one of the best lyricists that we've ever seen. And I feel like in this generation, it's just so gossipy and corny that the stuff that people call mid, I'm like, they ruin hip hop. Y'all are ruining hip hop because y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. It's like when you actually break down Drake's lyrics and the things he's saying and how he's saying it, there's nobody that said it like him.
Right.
You know, and as much as y'all want to call him cheesy or corny or whatever, he's a ladies' man, light skinned, whatever. It's like it won't take away from the fact that he's one of the greatest to ever touch a pen.
Did he influence you at all?
Man, not growing up, obviously, but at some point I started tuning in and I was like, what Drake saying? Like, how's he saying it? Just like how Jay-Z influenced my style, and I wanted to be witty like him, and how Biggie, I wanted to tell stories like him, and him and Eminem, and it's just Drake came and he started saying things in a different way.
Yeah.
He started talking about everyday life situations
Yeah,
in a different way, and I was so that kind of
Yeah.
that shifts your pen a little bit. I'm
Right.
telling you, even with Lyrics to Go Volume 5, I was writing and I had finished the project, and then he dropped Scary Hours, and we was bumping that in the whip, and I got back to the drum board. I was like, cause I was like, I gotta go harder.
Yeah.
I gotta go hard. Like, that's the standard.
Yeah.
Cause I realized that the bars were so potent and the truth was so heavy. Like what I liked about that album was the truth was in it, and that made me go back and I wrote this record called Backstage in Minneapolis.
Okay. Okay.
And that was a heavy record.
All right. Yo, I wake up oftentimes, not every day, but sometimes, and I just play first person, shooter mode, first person, whatever, with J. Cole, just to get me going.
Got you.
And that joint right there, that's like my favorite song for the last few years, man, because it's just energy.
Right.
And then when the beat changes and the dogs start barking, I'll be like, yo, who to go? Go ahead. Like,
who to go? Right. It's a wild record, and
Yeah.
that's a wild project,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, definitely the whole project. When the second part came out, that's when I jumped.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so we got Jay, Drake.
Drake. It gets tough after that. I'm putting Biggie on my list.
Okay. We kind of put Biggie in the he's on the Mount Olympic. He's on like Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, so I respectfully we've done the Big and the Pac. Even Jay, we kind of don't really.
Damn, really?
Yeah, 'cause Jay is Jay. Like,
that's crazy. That's eliminating a lot of the top fives right there.
There's a million rappers.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So we'll let you Jay and Drake. Okay, cool. But Big, it's like all right. Then you would say Pac, maybe. You probably wouldn't.
I'm not gonna say Pac.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna. I love Pac. I went through a Pac phase, but I wouldn't say Pac.
Okay.
That makes it real tough for me. I mean, I guess Drake would be at the top.
You can still say Jay though. I'm not gonna take that out because you're struggling.
I'm super struggling, bro. Give me something, man, Andreas. Give me somebody, bro. Come on. Kendrick, Cole, who else? Yo, on the pen side. Cause I know I'm missing a lot, bro. I'm missing so many that I know are there.
Wow, I'm so shocked. Ja Rule? What are we talking about?
Ja Rule can't be on my top 5.
Ja Rule is dope.
Not that he's not dope. He's just not he's not top 5 though.
Right.
Like he was a dope songwriter.
Yeah.
I feel like Ja was a crazy talented songwriter. As far as bar for bar, come on, nah, not on my list. And I love you, Ja. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. I saw you in Bed-Stuy at the block party a few months ago. It was lit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Ja,
homie.
Ja's still in shape too. I'm like, damn, Ja.
Hell yeah. Huh? Andre 3K? Damn, bro. Do I really not like that many rappers like this, bro? This is crazy. I like 3 Stacks.
Oh my god.
But we talking about favorite rapper.
We've never had this.
Talking about I got an issue, bro. Come on, give me some names. But you gotta understand, I'm coming off a long a 14-hour, 20-hour flight from the Philippines. So
okay, all right.
my mind is drawing a blank. All right, help me out.
Okay, Biggie, man. Let's just let it. Biggie.
Aye.
Let's talk about Biggie then.
No. We gotta finish this top 5,
okay.
bro.
All right. Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg. I mean, 50 Cent.
Damn.
Eminem.
Oh, M. I'm putting M on my list for sure.
Okay.
M on my list for sure. So it's like I got Jay, Drake, M.
Okay. Can you explain why Eminem?
Yeah, hell yeah, because because when I think about Eminem, I think about him before he started messing with Dre. You know, and
Okay.
that's not a lot of people don't talk about that when it comes to Eminem. But I'm like, when you listen to M before he started messing with Dre, he was a completely different artist,
Right.
and he was spitting like
Yeah.
he was spitting infinite.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
people don't know
infinite.
about that
Oh,
project. You feel
infinite.
me?
Excuse
So,
me. Oh,
bro, I'm gonna be real. When you think about Stan, he created a whole new word. He created a
bro.
whole new word. Nobody said the word
Yeah.
Stan. That's his phrase.
And the storytelling
Yeah,
on that. Oh my God,
insane. It changed the game. It changed the world. It
bro.
changed the
And his
world.
fans call themselves Stans.
Stans. Come on, man.
Come on,
Come on,
that's
man. It don't get
crazy.
better. The
That's
plot is too
so
thick.
crazy. Yeah, yeah, no, that's right.
You know.
I will tell people forever that the Mathers
Oh
LP
yeah.
is probably top five
Oh,
greatest hip hop albums ever. For
crazy.
real.
Lauren Hill. My
Lauren
bad.
Hill.
Lauren
Okay.
Hill. My
Yeah.
bad. My
Okay.
bad, Lauren. My
Okay.
bad, Miss Lauren Hill.
Yeah.
I was about to make a mistake. See? So
Nah,
we
that was
got
a good one.
Jay, Drake, M, Lauren, and
Okay.
we got one more. Um, Stan. Oh, Wheezy.
Lil
Lil
Wayne.
Wayne gotta be on there. Fuck,
21.
I messed up. See, I messed
That's
up. Thank
she.
you, Queen. Thank you. I gotta put Wayne on there. That's my top five.
Okay, so talk to me about
Yeah, I'm
Wayne
living
because
with it.
Wayne, you being from Brooklyn, Wayne,
Yeah.
you know, how did he influence, like, or impact you, or like, how did he get to this prestigious placement?
When I was in high school, me and my boy really bonded over the Carter 3.
Got you.
Crazy. We bonded. The Carter 3 was our joint.
Yeah,
And we would just bump that all day, every day in the crib, on the
yeah,
way to school.
yeah,
Like, and Wayne is just one of the nicest,
yeah.
also one of the nicest to do it.
He really
Period.
is. Yeah,
Like, period. I don't ever want to hear, I'm tired of hearing Drake slander, Wayne slander.
yeah.
You'll never hear any Hove slander. You know what I mean? Maybe in somebody's comment section.
Only on
But
some
yeah,
Illuminati
yeah,
or like,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean?
But I hate when people, I hate when people talk about all five of these
Okay.
because these is my like. Please don't talk about it because
Hmm.
I'm gonna start feeling the way. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now this, your son, here, is this you? That's you. There's a
That's
song
him.
called Grateful. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about this song Grateful with little Coda's face on it. What's that about?
Grateful. I think I wrote that record when I was at one of the lowest points of my life. You
Really?
know, and I wrote the song Grateful because you just really, especially at those times, you got to think about all of the things that you're grateful for
Uh-huh.
and all of the things that you have that people would love to have,
Yeah.
and you got to be grateful.
Yeah.
That's the only way out.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
This one.
Yeah.
We just trying to be happy. I was like, this is for me. Okay, so I gotta ask you specifically, what was going on when you wrote these bars?
Man, a lot was going on when I wrote that, and I don't even stuff that I don't even want to talk about.
Yeah, I
You
feel
know,
you. I feel you.
stuff that I don't even care to even bring up because
Yeah.
it's heavy in the past. You
I
know,
totally
so
understand.
but I was just going through struggles as a young man,
Yeah.
dealing with success, dealing with relationship issues, and just being conflicted all the time, and just waking up every day not knowing what to do, confused about am I alive? Like,
Yeah.
what do I do now with this life?
Right.
And so I wrote that song for Trouble Boys just to cuz I was learning a lot at the same
Mhm.
time. I was reading a lot,
Mhm.
and I was understanding a lot about myself
Mhm.
in ways that I had never understood. You kind of live your whole life confused
Mhm.
about why you feel certain ways, and then you start learning about the mind.
Mhm.
I was reading this book called The Body Keeps the Score, which is
Mhm.
about how how the body stores memories and
Mhm.
stores trauma.
Mhm.
Whereas like your mind will forget these things to try to protect you,
Mhm.
from these things, from because
Mhm.
these are harmful thoughts,
Right.
but your body will never forget.
Mhm.
So it's just like you still experience this trauma over and over again. Sometimes you don't even remember what's going on. Sometimes you don't even remember a situation because you've put it to the back of your mind
Right.
subconsciously. And I was just learning so much that was making me feel I felt like I wasn't crazy anymore. I'm like, oh, I'm able to understand myself and
Right.
what's going on. So now I'm able to kind of help myself heal. through
Yeah.
it. And I wrote that song for other people like me that have
Mhm.
felt these ways.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, check it. I got this little blueprint.
Yeah.
And you might not read the 800-page book,
Right.
but the stuff that I'm giving you right here is like a little synopsis.
Yeah. Did you go to college or anything?
I did one semester at
Okay.
Five Towns College
One
for
semester.
music.
Why did you
Yeah,
stop?
because school wasn't. I was done with school.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel you. It's not for everybody.
yeah,
That's a cliche, but I realize that's true.
yeah. I think school is for everybody, but maybe at different points of their
Hmm.
lives.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And education is not synonymous with school. You
there you
said you
go.
read an 800 word book, 800 page book. That's a lot of
Hmm.
book. Do you still read?
Yeah, I love to
How
read,
do you
bro.
stay off the phone? Like, I mean, how do you? I buy books. I buy books, and I
Right.
actually like don't read them. Like,
Yeah,
I might start, but I never finish.
yeah. I think it's like you got to make time for it.
Hmm.
But reading is definitely something you got to make time for. I
Yeah.
mean, you carve out an hour a day, hour and a half. You try your
Hmm.
best. I know life gets hard, especially when
Yeah.
you got kids and you got family and you got
Hmm.
work.
Yeah.
But at the time, one thing I was doing, I was really scheduling out my whole day.
Okay.
From the morning, the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep,
Right.
it was scheduled out. I knew
Wow.
what time I was going to sleep, so I had like an hour and a half just to read my book. And if
Okay.
I had a little bit of extra time, I'm moving it to 2 hours.
Okay. Okay.
So, and I would be like, all right, hours like a few chapters.
Got you.
So if I could read 3 chapters a day, that's
Hmm.
great. If I could read 5, even better.
Okay. So, Coda, you're doing God's work. I just want you to know that you're doing God's work. Or if I don't know what your beliefs are, but
Hmm.
you're doing good work. Give somebody some advice. Like, mental health is such a stigma, attached to it still to this day. We're getting better,
Hmm.
but a lot of people are struggling. I did therapy and counseling with my daughter. I've done it alone as well. What advice would you give someone struggling to get through things? Um,
Hmm.
Music is one way, obviously, and it's very helpful, but it's not the only way. Do you
Right.
have any advice?
Man, my advice lately has been just to be useful.
Hmm.
Learn how to be useful.
Okay.
Um,
Explain that.
like I think a lot of times when we're depressed and we find ourselves, in our heads a lot, you
Hmm.
think about that phrase "in my head."
Right.
I'm in my head. But
Yeah.
a lot of times when we think of depression,
Hmm.
it's just like I imagine myself being in my head. I'm
Hmm.
in my head all the time. I'm depressed about this situation that happened to me, and I'm not saying I don't get sad. I'm not saying I don't
Hmm.
get depressed, but one thing I do now that I didn't do before is when I realize that I'm having those emotions,
Hmm.
I'm too in myself right now. I'm
Right.
too into me, and there's so much in the world that has to change and that I can make better. I can be useful here, 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 and there,
Yeah.
but I'm choosing to sit with myself and be sad over something.
Right.
So that's not the right thing.
Gotcha.
So I think understanding that depression is really a selfish emotion. It's like
Hmm.
when you're being depressed, you're being selfish. You're
Right.
thinking about you, and maybe that's what you got to do at the moment.
Hmm.
But you got to know that at some point you have to get out in the world and be useful to the people around you, to the
Hmm.
people you care about, to a complete stranger.
Right.
Cause who cares?
Right.
Just um, be always never let the world change you.
Yeah.
Never let a situation change you. Never let a person change who you are. Stand firm and stand solid in what you do.
Hmm.
So it don't matter what anybody else do. It's like I'm not stooping to that level because I'm that's just not me.
Right. I
So
feel you.
I feel like when you move like that, you kind of have this real knowledge of self and this sense of self that people can't touch. And
Hmm.
that's another thing that I talked about in Lyrics to Go Volume 5 is this untouchable place
Hmm.
that people can't get to no matter what they take away from you.
Right.
Because in life, you're gonna get beat down.
Yeah.
You're gonna get beat. The rent is always due.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But you can't allow that to turn you into a new person. We was just talking about Price, and we was in a tour bus, and he said something that hit me. He was talking about his uncle was telling him a story. His uncle told him never let somebody take you down to their level
Mm.
because that's where they could beat you at.
Yo, that's a good one.
and
That's a
that hit me.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one. I applied that in my personal life at one point. I'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just dropped this project, but I will ask you, what's coming up, what's in the future, um, maybe some Drake collabs or something.
Man, honestly, maybe you never know. I've been making some really good music.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like ever since when Lyrics to Go Five dropped, it was such like it emotionally freeing project. It's like I
Mhm,
wrote so much in it that it kind of like unlocked something,
mhm.
and now I'm writing some of the best records of my life.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and I'm just having fun with it.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
what's
so
up.
it's real different right now.
All
It's
right.
real different.
Hey man, I appreciate you coming through. We got Little Coda up next. He's
Yes,
coming
sir.
through with he's rapping, right?
Yeah,
You
he's
rapping?
rapping.
Yeah.
He's
All
rapping.
right. All right. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I can't wait. All right. Any last words?
Oh damn, what's about to happen? Any last words? What you about to do?
Nah, I'm just saying.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Nah,
Appreciate
no
you.
last words, bro. I'm good,
No
man.
last words.
Thank you,
All
Chuck.
right. Yeah, definitely.